Hello everyone, in this episode we'll continue to focus on the trend of gold, while also keeping an eye on the Australian dollar, which has recently made a strong breakout. Let's start with gold. The geopolitical situation has once again entered a stalemate. Last week, Trump unilaterally announced an extension of the ceasefire and continued to blockade Iranian ports without specifying any concrete deadline. Although Iran has not officially agreed to extend the ceasefire, it has also not chosen to actively escalate the situation. This de facto indefinite ceasefire has introduced a lot of uncertainty into the situation, causing market risk aversion sentiment to fluctuate repeatedly. As of the morning of April 28th, the spot gold price had fallen from above $4,700 to below $4,670. In addition to the geopolitical situation, the market is highly focused on the Federal Reserve's interest rate decision at 2 a.m. Beijing time on April 30th. If the Federal Reserve sends a hawkish signal in response to energy inflation, gold prices may test the support level of $4,600 in the short term. Turning to the foreign exchange market, the Australian dollar has performed exceptionally well against the US dollar recently, at one point climbing to around 0.7200 during trading on April 28. The Reserve Bank of Australia raised interest rates to 3.85% this February, which stands in contrast to other major central banks that have begun considering rate cuts, thereby strengthening the Australian dollar's interest rate differential advantage. In addition to the appeal of interest rates, the strength of the Australian dollar is also supported by two major factors. The first is the high prices of commodities. As a major exporter of energy and minerals, Australia has boosted market demand for the Australian dollar. The second factor is the shift in geopolitical risk premium. Instability in the Middle East has prompted some safe haven funds to flow into Asia-Pacific economies that are less affected by the conflict, resulting in additional safe haven demand for the Australian dollar. Investors should closely monitor the Australian CPI data to be released at 9:30 a.m. Beijing time on April 29. If inflation remains high, the Australian dollar may test the 0.725 level or even higher. That's all for this episode. Thank you for watching and see you next time.